What happens if you got in a car accident on the job? Well, without digressing too much, the question first of all would be, were you in the course and scope of your employment, or were you on your way to or from work? If you're on your way to or from work, that's complicated. More often than not, that's not a workers' compensation case. But let's say that, for instance, you drive for a delivery company and you're delivering something and you're in a car accident. You would have both a workers' compensation claim and an auto accident claim. You would need an attorney to represent you for both. Some law firms do both, but I only handle Florida workers' compensation cases. That's what I specialize in. That's all I've done for about 17 years now. I certainly have plenty of relationships with local personal injury attorneys. So if you have a car accident that happened on the job and you need assistance, I can help you with the workers' compensation portion, and I can put you in touch with an individual who is an attorney who specializes in personal injury cases that can make sure that you get everything that you're entitled to in your motor vehicle accident case, while I do the same for your workers' compensation case. You may be wondering why exactly you have both a personal injury and a workers' compensation case if you were in a car accident in the scenario that we just talked about. And the rationale behind that really is the fact that there is a company or an individual other than your employer that caused your injuries. When you get injured on the job in the state of Florida, you can't sue your employer for negligence or anything like that. So all you get is your workers' compensation benefits. But if there is a third party, as we call them, so the other person, the other driver of the other vehicle, or a different company that owned that vehicle that was being operated at the time that caused your injuries, you can go after those third parties. So that's why you would have both a personal injury case and a workers' compensation case. If you find yourself in that situation where you were in a car accident and it happened to also be while you were in the course and scope of your employment, such that you have a Florida workers' compensation claim, the question is, who are you going to treat with? So under workers' comp, they get to pick all your doctors. So they're going to send you to doctors that they choose, and that's who you treat with. Simultaneously, under the personal injury case, if your attorney wants, he can send you to doctors of his choice, because in a personal injury case, you go to whatever doctor you want to go to, basically, and you have to pay for that. And then you can seek recoupment of that from the personal injury case at a later date. That may not be advisable, and so you don't want to do that without having a conversation with the two attorneys. And the reason for that is opinions from one case could potentially hurt the other case. So you definitely want to have attorneys involved in both cases, communicating on a regular basis, so that they understand how one case is impacting the other, so that you can make sure that you maximize what you can get for a recovery from both cases. If you've successfully navigated your way through both of your claims and you're at the point where you're settling cases, it's important that you understand that there is something called a third-party lien that the workers' compensation insurance company will have in your case. And basically what that means is there was somebody else that caused your injuries. That's what caused the car accident, that person or that other company that hit you, that you sued for the personal injury claim. If you make a recovery, say a settlement from that claim, workers' comp is entitled to receive a portion of that settlement based on a certain formula, and the personal injury attorney will negotiate that with the workers' comp insurance carrier when you're settling that case. But it's important that you understand that a portion of that settlement from the personal injury claim will have to go to the workers' compensation insurance company. If you found yourself in the unfortunate situation of having a car accident on the job and you need assistance making sure that you get the benefits that you need, please reach out to me at Law Office of Brian D. Tadros. You can find us online at bdtlawfirm.com. We're here, we're available, we're passionate about making sure that you get the benefits that you're entitled to. And even though I can only help you with the workers' compensation portion of that case, I can put you in contact with fantastic personal injury attorneys in the local area that can provide you with that assistance, who I can communicate with to make sure that we maximize your recovery in both cases.